Okay, good. It's positioned. Uh, hey guys, I'm back. Basically, I am so freaking exhausted because I rode my bike from all the way to my house to a grocery outlet, which was closed, then to Safeway to pick up ice cream and back. Just pick up some ice cream, and then I rode all the way back here. And I'm so tired, but I'm still gonna review this awful, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, called Batman and Robin, for you guys, just because I want you to know how I feel about this movie. So let's get to it. It basically stars George Clooney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris O'Donnell, Alicia Silverstone, and Uma Thurman. And let me just say this. I have never felt so much hatred towards a movie in my life. I mean, seriously, everything that I thought was wrong with Batman Forever was completely wrong in Batman and Robin. From, like the design of the suits, to the art direction, to the acting, to the actual direction, and to like the set design and the whole artistic development of like what was happening in Gotham City at the time. This was so dumb. Seriously. Oh my goodness. It was awful. I can just, oh man, what can I say about like Arnold's performance? Seriously, as Mr. Freeze. Jesus Christ. Who thinks it's a good idea to cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as a guy who's just going to be saying, "Okay, everybody, chill," every 2 goddamn seconds? Seriously, it's just from like, it has like the worst puns ever. Like, with Arnold just like saying anything that's related to something cold, and it's got like this warehouse where it's like basically a giant ice box, and his henchmen are complete morons, and they're like gonna stick their tongues to like their freaking musical instruments or whatever or not. It's freaking stupid as hell. And then we got freaking George Clooney as Batman, who I love George Clooney, but I mean seriously, this is just not a good role for him at all. Come on, seriously, this is just embarrassing. I mean, from the opening line, from when he's breaking in to the museum that Mr. Freeze is robbing, and he's just like, "Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman." It was just so corny and over the top, or not over the top. I mean, like, it just was unnecessary, not even worth even paying attention to, and especially since like after that line, he's sliding down this dinosaur like he's like in the fucking Flintstones. Seriously, who thought that was a good idea? Who thought that was a good idea? And then we got Robin, who's just being a whiny bitch throughout the whole movie. Seriously, he's like, "Oh, she loves me, and like, what else? Oh yeah, now I'm gonna take a dive in this green goo." It's so dumb. I mean, seriously, the whole plot line of this movie was terrible. And then Batgirl, played by Alicia Silverstone, who had no character development at all throughout the whole film, where it's just like she's just being introduced as Alfred's niece, and she's not even British. That's just complete laziness on the screenwriter's part. Let me just say that. And then, when she's actually in the bat suit, it's completely idiotic, just the way that she's dressed up, and the way that they're setting up the whole bat suits in a way, like in the beginning, where they're getting the close-up shots of everything. You got like the freaking ass shot and the crotch shot and the nipples and everything. Oh man, I thought it was. From what I saw in Batman Forever, I was like, what the hell are you thinking in Batman and Robin? Seriously, like, whoever came up with that costume seriously deserves to freaking, or just needs to reevaluate their mindset, because seriously, like, what the hell were they thinking? That was just not right at all for what Batman is trying to be displayed as. And then what should I say about Alicia Silverstone? I mean not Alicia Silverstone, but Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. I mean, come on, seriously? This girl was like, she wasn't even remotely interesting. I mean, she's got like, okay, so maybe the first like few minutes where it's like she dies from the guy because she's getting caught, and it's kind of like a tie back to like Batman Returns, from where like Selena Kyle gets caught and she gets pushed off the building and she dies. Well, it's kind of like what they were doing with Uma Thurman's character, but it was just so over the top in the way like she does it, and like she dies from like chemicals, and she sinks into like this abyss of chemicals and all these little things and plants, and she rises just like, well, poison ivy basically. It's just, it was completely idiotic the way it was set up. And oh yeah, I'm also forgetting Bane. Like seriously, who thought like this guy was supposed, or like what in the right mind is this supposed to be Bane? Seriously, he's just this like veiny, muscly guy that's just like got a mask on. He's just like, he's got this button on his chest where it's like you press it and he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just so over the top and cheesy. It's dumb, 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 completely idiotic. And I'm just like, I was completely out of it when it came to that point. And then, you know, when it comes to the ending where it's like Arnold's, he's got the crystal, he's gonna turn everything into a big ice like machine or whatever, and he's like shooting his like ice laser everywhere, and he's making Gotham his basically like a hockey rink. And then you got Batman and Robin and Batgirl, and they got like all their bikes and their cars, and they're just like, it looks like they're just gliding along it. It's so dumb. It's like interactive hockey put into a movie, and it's like superheroes as well. It's like, what the hell were they thinking? Man, I just can't get into it any more than that. I mean, seriously, the whole point of this movie is just dumb. Do not see this movie ever again. If you have seen it before and you loved it as a child and you've seen it now, I'm serious. Do not watch it ever again in your lifetime. It is probably one of the worst movies ever made. Actually, no, it is one of the worst movies ever made. I completely ignore Batman and Robin. I'm giving it 0 out of 5. It is the worst piece of crap I've ever seen in my life, as far as me as a moviegoer standpoint is. I mean, there's bad movies nowadays, but they don't compare to what Batman and Robin was. This was an atrocity on film history. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. So, yeah. That's basically my whole ideas on my whole opinion on Batman and Robin. I'm so glad I got that off my chest, because seriously, this is like completely idiotic. The worst piece of crap ever. So yeah. Yeah, that's my whole thought on Batman and Robin. And I'll be back in the next 4 days to talk to you about probably our savior, Christopher Nolan's first entry into the Batman series, Batman Begins, which is a really good film, and I'm glad to say that Christopher Nolan is the person that brought Batman back into our lives and our hearts. So yeah. Anyway, take it easy, guys. I will see you then.